Alright, good morning and welcome back to the channel, folks. It's balmy 42 degrees here at Brown's Tract Lower Pond. That's where I'm paddling today, getting my kayak in. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a little bit warmer, but I'm prepared for the cold. So we're going to get out and explore this pond today. So let's get going. Hi folks, well this is Brown's Tract Pond. It is the lower pond and it's a pretty good sized body of water. It is a pond, and on its shores over here is the Brown's Tract DEC campground where I'm currently staying, and I'll have a review out on that later. So Brown's Tract DEC campground, you could probably hear a leaf blower behind me. This is opening weekend. They are getting the sites ready, blowing the leaves off from last fall off the sites. The staff is really going at it here. They're short staffed. There's only 2 of them working, and they're doing a pretty good job, I'll tell you. But Brown's Tract campground is a remote campground here, and a lot of people say that this place out here, this pond and this campground, is the Adirondacks' best kept secret. So in New York's haste for speedy sales, there were several property tracts throughout the Adirondacks that were defaulted on. From what I have read, there was a lot of shady deals going on with then New York State Attorney General Aaron Burr, and he made some shady deals with a guy named James Greenleaf, among others. And it was later learned that Greenleaf was in default to a guy, Rhode Island merchant named of John Brown. And John Brown hired New York City Attorney Alexander Hamilton for matters concerning Greenleaf and the Greenleaf mortgage of this property, of the 210,000 acres here. And they found that he paid $33,000, Greenleaf did, for the property, and he didn't come due on it. So the mortgage was being foreclosed on in December of 1798. It took years to get this matter settled, and that was the beginning of Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton's feud. If you know your history, I've talked about it in previous videos where the two had a duel, and back then, that's how you settled matters. Old West, I guess. But a few years later, after the presidential election of 1800, with a deadlock electoral college between Jefferson and Burr receiving the same total of votes, Hamilton worked to defeat Burr in the House of Representatives, citing Burr's history of his shady land deals here in the Adirondacks. And that was increased the feud even more there. And if you think politics of today is contentious, if you know anything about your history back then, oh my God, you know, at least they don't do duels anymore in the streets, I guess. Because it took years, John Brown's deed for the property was never filed with the county, and he ended up dying on September 20th, 1803. But in February of 1804, Brown's 1798 deed for this property was finally recorded in Lewis County clerk's office. Hamilton succeeded in having the assembly approve Brown's petition for taking this tract, and the title was issued to him. And later that year, reacting to Hamilton's comments about him supposedly made at a social event, Aaron Burr challenged Hamilton to a duel on July 11th, 1804, resulting in Hamilton's death one day later. So, like I said, the politics of yesteryear versus politics of now, I think a lot of it's just a show now. I think they get behind closed doors and actually laugh at us, and then out in front of the cameras, but anyways, it is a chilly day here in the Adirondacks, chilly morning. Like I said, it was 42 degrees when I left the camper, so I made up some coffee. It's still morning. It's probably now almost 10 o'clock. I don't have my phone out. But this is a very nice area for if you want remoteness. There's no cell service here, so you don't have to worry about your cells going off. But a hot coffee on this cold day. The weatherman keeps lying to us because it was supposed to be about 50 degrees today. Now they're saying the high is going to be about 45. It's pretty close, but they said no rain today. Well, as soon as I got going, there's probably drops of rain on the lens of the camera. But yeah, this is it's a nice area. And right here's the island out in the middle of the lower pond. And I believe back here is there's a ladder going up on that rock. There's another rock that people jump off of. It's too bad it's not 90 degrees out. I would give it a whirl myself. But it is mid-May, opening weekend for the DEC campgrounds here, and I think this campground had some no-shows. I haven't talked to the caretaker. I was going to ask him that when I saw him. He's out busy. He's getting they're blowing the leaves off the sites, and I mean there was only maybe 10 sites in use at the beginning of the weekend, but yeah, this is I'm going to have to put this on my list to come back here when it is really warm out. The one good thing about the being 42 degrees right now, the Adirondack black flies are not out. They were out Friday. It was 79 degrees on Friday, and beautiful day, but they were all over. You breathe, you opened your mouth, they'll fly in. There goes a duck. But it is not the best days for a paddle, but still, anytime I can get out, it's a good day. All right, folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.